Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm the City Witch. So as we're entering the month of October, it's time for your free monthly reading. And as we are in the spooky season and working our way towards the wonderful holiday of Halloween and preparing for that, I thought I would work with one of my more gothic-y, spooky Halloween themed decks. So this one is by Lucy Cavendish and it's the Less Vampires Oracle. It's one of my favourites. So I thought that we would conduct a reading with this deck for this month. As it is a slightly darker deck and as we're going along a spooky theme, some of the messages might hit close to home. They might give you a reality check or get you to do some shadow work or get you to face a part of yourself that you're not particularly proud of. So for that reason, just bear in mind, this is just guidance only. It's something you can consider working on or you completely ignore the message. It's up to you. For those of you who never had a free reading from me before, all you need to do is take a moment to steady yourself, calm your breathing and relax all of your muscles, release that tension from your body. Take a moment to look at each of these cards one at a time. So we have card 1, card 2 and card 3. Whichever card holds a message for you will invoke something within you. So you may get a dry throat. You may suddenly feel tingling in your palms, or your palms may even go sweaty. You may get butterflies in the tummy. Your heart may skip a beat, or your breath may come quick and short. So whichever one is giving you a physical reaction is the one that has a message for you for this month. So my advice is to pause the video and take your time in choosing your card. So go ahead and do that for me now. So you should have chosen your card. And now I'm going to conduct the reading. So let's start with you guys who've chosen card 1. So card 1 is Call for Help. This is the 12th card in the deck and it says reach out, need for backup, admit your needs. So this is kind of a cry for help kind of energy, and it's a protective card as well. It's telling me that you guys in the month of October who've chosen this card need to protect yourselves and your energy. It is a warning. So trust your instincts when you're feeling that something isn't quite right, like something is off in some way, or you get a weird vibe or feeling from a particular person. You need to trust your instincts. They're not just going awry. They're not just warning you for no apparent reason. They're usually on the ball. So if you're being warned about someone, you're getting that vibe that you should stay away from them, then listen to that inner voice telling you to stay away from them. It is for your own good. This could also be about removing yourself from a situation that has gone bad or an atmosphere that's become truly toxic. So think about the atmospheres that you spend a lot of time in. So if you go to the gym, for example, several times a week, that is one atmosphere you spend your time in. Your home and your home environment is another one. And friends that you go and visit on a regular basis, or even other family members. And think also about where you spend a lot of your time at work. What kind of atmospheres are you putting yourself in, and are any of them bad for you and considered to be truly toxic? And is there something you can do about that? Can you remove yourself from them? I know it's not that easy when it comes to a job, but if it's a friend and their home environment, you can choose to spend less time there or spend time with your friend anywhere that isn't their home environment, such as a cafe, or go to the movies, or go out for a nice meal or something. You don't have to be in that atmosphere, and by putting yourself in that atmosphere, you are putting yourself and your energy at risk. So keep that in mind, guys. The other thing with this card is it doesn't want you to ignore your senses. So for some of you, you may have been thinking, oh, it's weak, or I'm oversensitive, or I'm just being afraid of nothing, or I'm just being a scaredy cat. Other people might even have told you that as well, that you're just being overly too cautious. But I want you to ignore those messages, because the reason this card's come up is that you're right on the ball and your senses are telling you something for a reason. So when your senses say something is wrong, something is actually wrong, guys, and you need to analyze that on a greater level. So make sure that in any situation you put yourself in, or any friendship or contract you form, that you feel safe and comfortable during the month of October, and keep an eye out for anything that makes you feel uncomfortable. This could also be a call to remove untrustworthy people from your life. And you may be surrounding yourself at this time with people that are just constantly letting you down. So I also want you, for the month of October, to think about all the friends you have in your life. And one by one, think, if you called them randomly, if you picked up the phone right now and you said, my car is broken down on the motorway, would that friend say, right, I will come and get you, I'll help you. And further to that, if you said, I need to get to work for the next 4 days, would they drive you every day to work? And would it be no questions asked? They don't need petrol. They would just do it because they're a good, loyal, trustworthy friend. If you can't say that about a number of people in your life, then maybe you need to reconsider if they're really friends and what kind of friendship you have with that person. But further to this, as you analyze all of your friendships, you may come across that one friend who you recognize straight away as, no, if I called them up right now with a broken vehicle, they would not help me. They would not be there for me. And I know that for a fact because they've never been there for me. And by that statement, they've never been there for you, there is your untrustworthy person that you choose to have in your life. By having them in your life, you prevent someone better from entering your life that could be an ally. And another point to this card, it's not just about removing untrustworthy people, it's also about embracing allies in your life, people that will really be there for you when you need them, people that you can trust who are loyal to you and would not betray you or throw you under the bus in any way. People you could tell your deepest, darkest secrets to and know that it would begin and end with their ears. It would not pass their lips to anybody else. So take a moment to think about that and really, in the month of October, be careful who you share your secrets with. Know your allies, know who is untrustworthy. So being cautious is very important. Another message coming through from Spirit is you need to be cautious with your dealings for this month as well. Any business deals you might have in the works, any contracts, anything that means that you have to sign your name on the dotted line or that you have to make an agreement to do something. Be really mindful about where you're putting yourself and your energy in the month of October. And if something doesn't feel right or you think someone's taking advantage of you in some way, then simply say no and walk away. Don't put yourself at risk. And the last message I want to say as well is that for me, I'm getting this kind of energy coming through that says that someone out there is actively trying to hurt you. They are waiting in the shadows for you to drop your guard and they will take advantage of that. So be very, very careful, guys. This could be someone you've slighted or wronged in some way, someone that you yourself have accidentally betrayed, or even betrayed on purpose for one reason or another. Could be someone that you've really hurt. Whatever it is, there's this vengeful energy coming through for me that somebody wants to see you fall in some way and they're just waiting for you to drop your guard or do something stupid or agree to something so that they can manipulate the situation to their advantage and hurt you in the process or make you look stupid in some way. So just be really super careful. And the last thing I want to say is for many of you, I think it's work related. That one colleague or that boss that you've shown up or made look stupid, yeah, just be mindful of that person, protect yourself and stay away from them. So be super careful for you guys, okay? So protect yourselves and your energy. So that's the message for you guys in group 1. So let's look at group 2. So group 2, free will. So this card is number 23 in the deck and it's sovereignty, independence and free spirit. So this is quite an interesting card because this is all about free will. And as we know, everybody has free will. And to try to go against someone else's free will is completely and utterly wrong. And this is where that manipulative energy comes into play. Either you yourself are manipulative or planning to be so, or someone else has manipulated you into a situation that you weren't happy with. To connive, to take from another person what they need in order to make an informed, full decision is just very manipulative, guys. And if you are trying to manipulate a situation to your benefit, it shouldn't be at the expense of someone else. It shouldn't be completely and utterly selfish. Yes, you want to manipulate a situation for your own benefit, and yes, you have your own motives in this situation, but be mindful about who you step on to get there, because you could very well step on the wrong person and you may pay the price later. So really consider your motives in this situation, and let's be honest, you know what you are doing is wrong and potentially very, very selfish. And if you continue down this path, you will end up creating enemies, and those enemies eventually will collect that debt that you've created with them, and you will form this cycle, this bond that will be toxic. So just be really careful, because enemies eventually will demand nothing less than your downfall. And I sense that for some of you out there, you've already done what you shouldn't have done. So I think you've already manipulated a person, took away their full choices in a situation, backed them into a corner, or didn't give them the full information to make the best decision for them. You only gave them the information you knew would manipulate them into doing exactly what you wanted. So I think for many of you, you're the one who manipulated the situation, or you're going to manipulate the situation. And this is the month where you're going to pay the price. So if you've already done this, just be warned, because that person is coming after your blood in the month of October. They're going to want payment, retribution, revenge of some kind. They're going to want to make it known what you did to them. If you're considering doing something, this is a flat out warning. Just don't do it, because it isn't going to serve you in any way. It may for the short time get you what you want, but in the long run, it's going to create you an enemy, and it's going to make you look like a really bad person. So just be really mindful of that, guys, and try not to upset anyone in the month of October. Try not to manipulate any situations at all. Stay well out of it and keep yourself to yourself. And then also, this could be a warning that what you're considering doing is going way too far, like over the top, and that perhaps you can tone it down. Perhaps if you rethink what you want to do or what you want to achieve as a goal, you can do it in such a way where you don't step on anyone, you don't manipulate the situation that involves other people, that you don't hurt people in the process, is what I'm saying. And if you rethink it, you will probably find that there's a much better path to what you're trying to manifest or create in the month of October. And it won't cause you to create an enemy. It won't cause you to look silly in any way, or, you know, conniving and manipulative. And you will come out on top as a result. So for me, the ultimate message here is really reconsider what you're doing. Don't fulfill the plan or the plot that you are contemplating doing. And if you've already done it, then make your apologies and try to make amends for it now, before that person becomes a true enemy and is scheming to take you down, basically take you down a peg or destroy your life in some way. Because I do get this very, very dark, nasty vibe coming through from this card. I mean, the look on this image's face, this person, I just think you guys need to be really, really careful about your motivations in the month of October. And whatever you're planning, plotting, scheming, just rethink it for me. And honestly, I promise you, you will find a better path to manifesting what it is you want in the month of October that will not step on other people or cause you to manipulate the situation in such an aggressive manner, because we don't want you creating enemies in that month, because the energy is quite toxic coming through. So please be mindful of that, okay? Yeah, I think that's the message for you guys. I'm not picking up on anything else. It's just a major, major warning to be really careful and to, you know, reconsider your plans in the month of October, tweak them, or look for another way of doing things. That's really going to benefit you guys. But yeah, just be careful, because the enemy, the vibe coming through is truly very dark and deadly. So just be careful. Let's move on to the last card. So you guys in group 3 have got the card of Faith. So this is number 36 in the deck, and it says on it, trust, unwavering, and confidence. So this is kind of a really interesting card because it has a lot of multi-layers to it. So for you guys in the month of October, it's all about your faith. So having faith in something is a very powerful thing. It's an unwavering belief that no matter what, something will take place, something you want will manifest, something you believe in will happen, it will occur, because you have this unwavering faith, this confidence that it will happen. It's not that it might, it's that it will. You are dead set on this thing actually happening. And this is where this card ties into manifestation for me as well, because part of manifestation is complete and utter faith in the higher powers, faith in your ability that you've put the message out there correctly, faith that your prayers have been heard, and faith they've been answered, and that the higher spirits and powers are working to manifest what it is that you've asked for. And it's where manifestation truly and utterly begins, in your heart, in your faith, in your belief, and it must be unshakable. But then for some of you out there, even though you've put some manifestation ideas into the universe, even though you're working towards a goal, some of you may have had your faith tested or shaken And it's caused you to waver in your beliefs. It's caused you to doubt the path that you're on. It's caused you to doubt manifestation and the power of change. For some of you who are into witchcraft, you may be doubting your spells as well, because many of them might not have been manifesting. And I think for some of you, it is because you don't believe in yourself and your magic. It is because you don't believe in the higher powers, and they are actually hearing what it is you're asking for. They're not getting your messages and your prayers. So maybe you need to reanalyze that, and your relationship with the spirits, your relationship with yourself and your energy as well might need to be looked at. For some of you, you may have your personal beliefs tested, and your faith might be brought into question, and you may, for a time, rethink them. Now, for some of you, this could be a good thing, because you may be thinking, why do I believe this thing? Is it because I was taught that and therefore I just believe it? Is it because I read a book once and it just resonated with me? So for some of you, rethinking what you believe in, why you believe in it, and the path you're on is a good thing, because you should have a healthy curiosity. You should want to question things to some degree, and you should want to make sure that what you're doing is the correct thing for you, and that you're leading yourself down the correct path, and you're not leading yourself down a path of destruction, or, you know, that you're going down a path that you're unhappy with, or it's taking you in a direction that you're not happy with. So sometimes rethinking your faith, your beliefs, your kind of religion, your spirituality can be a good thing. For others, this may be a sign that you don't believe, that you've lost your faith, you've lost your way, and that you are doubting way too much, and that you are questioning the higher powers at every single turn. Now, this for me is when you're repeating patterns. So for some of you, over the course of the last, say, 6 months, you may have repeated the same request over and over and over. And I see this a lot personally in my spellcraft, when people are asking for an ex-partner back. And they ask and they ask and they ask, and it doesn't manifest. And then they go to caster after caster, psychic after psychic, and then they don't get the message that the reason it's not manifesting is because it doesn't serve your highest good. It's not meant to manifest, and there's no physical way for it to manifest. Now, your request might be reasonable, logical, and absolutely have the ability to happen, but that doesn't mean it should happen. So for some of you, you're repeating yourselves, you're asking the higher powers for the same thing over and over and over, and the reason it hasn't manifested is because it's not meant to, and you need to take that as a sign to let it go, okay? So for some of you, this is needed. For some of you, you've been leading a blinded life, following your faith like sheep, and for others, you haven't had enough faith. And you've questioned the spirits, questioned the way they're leading you, the direction you're going in. And you might not like the direction, but it's actually best for you. So sometimes you need to take the advice of the psychics, the spiritualists, the religious leaders around you, and other times you need to question them. So how do you tell the difference? Well, first of all, think about all the messages you're getting. Do they sound correct? So in the instance of you want your ex back and you've been asking for half a year and it's not been happening, and you might have been receiving signs from spirit that it's not meant to, that it's not good for you, which is why they're not allowing it to manifest, or why it's actively being blocked. If you've been ignoring that, then absolutely, you know you're on the wrong path and you're just not listening, okay? And you're doubting the spirits and their guidance. So therefore, you need to make some changes internally and let that ex-partner go, because they're not what's right for you. But in the instance you've been asking for something over and over and over and it simply hasn't been manifesting, think about how you're asking for it, the wording you're using, and think about, do you actually believe in it? And how hard are you praying for it? And also, are you praying and then trusting? Because trust is part of this path. So for some of you, this is definitely a trying month of figuring out where your faith and belief system lies, questioning the powers in charge, so the spiritual leaders that you look up to, the teachers that can guide you, the psychics that you go to for readings. And for others, it's about recognizing when they're being led astray by those leaders, or they're being told something that doesn't sit right with you or doesn't feel right to you, and therefore you know that it's time for you to figure out your beliefs and maybe make a change in some way. And for some of you, it's that you've followed blindly in your faith and you've become like sheep and that you don't question enough. And perhaps it's time for you to question and to criticize and to do your own research and think for yourself. So follow your instincts and your intuition, okay? And the last thing I want to say is, for some of you, your prayers are definitely being answered and they have been heard and they are out there in the universe and they are going to manifest. However, they take time, and perhaps the position you're in right now in life, in the month of October, your life is particularly at a complex point, and therefore it's not that easy for the thing you want to manifest. There are lots of obstacles or blockages that need clearing first. So analyze yourself, your life, and what can you clear to help this thing manifest? What can you do physically to back up what you're asking for? And with your faith and with your beliefs, do they align with what you're asking for? Do they serve you and your higher self? And do they guide you down a path that you can be proud of and that you're comfortable with? So for you guys, this is definitely all about some self-reflection work, your faith and your needs, and also recognizing when spirit is saying no and that it's for the greater good. So I hope this reading has been good for you guys, and I hope you've really enjoyed it. If you have, please give me a thumbs up and click the bell so YouTube will tell you when my next video comes out. If you'd like to book a private reading from me with any of my decks, you can do that by using the links in the video, which is Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, or via email. They're all the different ways you can contact me. If you'd like to offer light, love and support to this channel, you can do that by donating through Patreon, either to myself or my lovely familiar companion Hunter, who is my lovely puppy. Or you can click on the Amazon link and buy me something to help my business. So thank you very much for choosing to watch my video. Thank you very much for following me, guys. I do appreciate each and every one of my followers. And if you do choose to support me in any way, I thank you as well. I do very much appreciate it. And it does help my channel grow and it does help me continue what I'm doing. And it's what I love to do. So thanks very much, guys. As always, take care of yourselves and I'll see you for next month's reading. Blessed be.